Thank you everyone for joining. Just give us a few more minutes to let everybody in the room. Just give us a few more minutes and we'll get started. Okay, let's begin. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CESLC Insider. I am so glad that you could join us today. Every other Wednesday, usually at noon, you can tune in to find education on topics that matter to you. I'm your host, Angelique Jackson, Manager of Business Development and Marketing. Here at Charles E. Smith Life Communities, we offer care, deliver care personally tailored to those that we serve. We offer a wide variety of care and services, from independent living at Ring House to affordable independent living at Revitz House, assisted living at Landau House, and memory support at Cohen Rosen House, post-acute care and long-term care at Hebrew Home of Greater Washington, and outpatient geriatric primary care at Hirsch Health Center. To schedule a private tour of our campus to explore all that it has to offer, please call Greg or Tony at our Welcome Center or visit our website to schedule a tour. All the information will be provided to you in the chat. So a few reminders before we begin: make sure that you keep yourself on mute so that we don't have any noise disturbances today. We are recording this class, and this class and others, other past programs you can find on our YouTube channel, which will also be loaded or provided to you in the chat. So let's get started. The new year is a great time to establish healthy habits that nourish both our minds and our bodies. And today we have two amazing guests joining us from Bender JCC, Lindsay Frankel, Program Manager of the Coming of Age Senior Adult Program, and Carole Moskowitz, Certified Personal Trainer, Yoga Instructor, Pilates, and Group Fitness Instructor as well. So they're here to help us get fit where we sit. Good morning, ladies. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Lindsay, I have a question. Can you tell us about Bender JCC and programs that they have that are geared to older adults?
Sure. Yeah, the JCC Coming of Age program is for adults aged 60 and over. We provide activities including but not limited to theater and museum trips, lectures, concerts. We have 2 annual signature events coming up, our Health and Wellness Expo, which will be in May, and an annual New York City overnight trip, which we're really excited to be bringing back this year after a few years hiatus. It's a great opportunity for socializing, learning, and entertainment, and JCC membership is not required to be a COA member.
Thank you. So we also have Carole Moskowitz, who will be leading the class today. Hello, Carole. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody.
Carole, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for Bender JCC and the class that we are going to be enjoying today?
Yes, I can. I am a fitness instructor at the JCC. I teach a class, sculpt class on Mondays, a yoga class on Saturdays, and a hybrid Parkinson's class on Wednesday afternoons. I also teach at other organizations, and I have my own Zoom fitness classes online as well.
Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about our class today?
Yes, first, before I start, it is a chair yoga class, so everything will be done in a chair. You can use sit on a table, you can sit on a couch, whatever works for you. But I do want to say that please, and this is the health part of this, if you have any restrictions, we want to be sure that your doctor has said that it's okay for you to work out, to do exercises, even chair exercises, because honestly, they can be challenging for people. So please do not do anything where you feel pain. You should not feel pain when doing something. If you do, please stop and either modify your activity or just wait till the next pose comes around. Discomfort is okay. Discomfort just means we're using those muscles we haven't used for a while, but pain is not a good thing. So now that I've said that, we will be going through the class, and what I'll do is demonstrate a couple of things first, and then we're going to go through 3 different sequences. And depending on time, we may go through some of them more than one time. And then after that, of course, you can, we'll have time to ask questions. I did want to mention some of the benefits of yoga and chair yoga. The benefits for both, I would say, are pretty much the same. It gives us a sense of awareness of our mind and our body as they link together. Relaxation comes from yoga. A sense of peace can come from yoga. So you could be just lying on your mat in what we all call Savasana, and that is considered a yoga position. So something as simple sounding as that can bring great peace. Also, if you have weight issues, this can help you to lose weight. Your flexibility will become better. Your balance will become better. Those are all things that are worked on in yoga classes. Any physical impairments that you might have, mind-body issues, people who have Parkinson's or any form of dementia benefit greatly from chair yoga or yoga, whichever you decide to do eventually. It's also great for helping with chronic pain. As we stretch our bodies out, the inner workings of our bodies stretch also, which helps to relieve the pain that can sometimes surround joints in various areas, shoulders, hips, knees, whatever you might have, ankles, hands. So really it's a full body and mind experience. So with that being said, I'm going to start with a couple of things. Actually, there's more than a couple, but we want to have proper placement of our body on the chair. So in fact, I'm going to turn mine just a little. So as I go through this and mention the different aspects of the body alignment, if you could just kind of listen and make your body, like if I say sit at the edge of the chair, what that means, you can see the depth of my chair here. I will be sitting at the edge of this chair as best you can. If you cannot do that, sit back a little further, that's no problem. But we want to sit at the front edge of the chair, and we want to anchor our sit bones down onto the chair. We want to really firmly plant them on the chair. Get our legs at right angles. So our legs should be, I'm sitting sideways just to show you, 90 degrees from your hip to your knee and down to your ankle. So the legs are at 90 degrees. They're hip width apart. To determine how to get them hip width apart, we take our fists like this, place them together. Our palms are facing forward. My side of my hands are together. Put them just above your knee on your thigh between your legs. So just about right here. That is considered hip width apart. That's the way you can measure that. So now my legs are considered hip width apart, and they're also 90 degrees. My feet are parallel to one another. Back a little so you can see that better. Okay. Feet are parallel to one another. Legs are 90 degrees. Press your toes down into the floor. Spread your toes out as best you can. Feel your feet pressed into the floor and then release. You want to bring your pelvis forward so your navel is into your spine. So you're kind of rocking forward and you're stabilizing this entire core area. Your shoulders are down and back. Your ear, if possible, is aligned over your shoulders, but again, as best you can. If there's physical limitations to that and you're rounded forward a little bit, that's okay. You can still have a great practice and enjoy it and get health benefits, even though that's the case for you. You want to make sure to keep your belly in, your sternum up, shoulders back and down. Your chin is parallel to the floor. And then the last thing, when you are practicing, we call this a focus point or drishti, a looking point. As you're in a pose, for instance, if your arms are out like this and you're looking to the side, your looking point is your fingertips or the wall on the opposite side. Your eyes are open, but you want to have a concentration point, which also helps you to stabilize and to balance. Okay, so we've covered that. It's a lot to remember, but mainly keep your shoulders back and down, core tight, legs at 90 degrees, feet firmly planted on the floor, head is back. If you can just do those things, you're going to have a great time. So I'm going to start with a couple of other placements that we need to know. For instance, when we're in like this, in a warrior pose, our leg is straight back, our toes on this leg that I'm moving are curled under, and you're pressing into the forward and the back foot. So this could be long, it could be bent, whatever works for you. You can bring it in a little closer if it's not good for you to have it back. There's always ways to modify, but warrior pose would be like this. As we come down now, to warrior two, our pose is going to look like this. This foot now, rather than being turned and the toes curled under, comes to the side and you're resting on your side of your foot. Your legs are still 90 degrees and your arms come out straight. So just be careful with your foot placement so you don't tweak your knees or hurt anything like that. So we're going to get started with what's called the sitting mountain series. We're just going to cross our hands in front of our chest. I'll take this slowly through so you can follow. So your hands are crossed. You're going to sweep them up overhead, interlacing your fingers, palms facing up to the ceiling. Sitting nice and tall, legs 90 degrees, hip distance apart. Slowly releasing, raising up the right arm. Fingers are pointed in. You're pressing towards the ceiling, pressing your feet into the ground. And you're breathing. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Lower that right arm. Raise the other side. And again, press up towards the ceiling. Hold. And now release. Beautiful. Okay. Next will be pulling the ankles. So we're hinging forward. Again, we're not rounding our back. We're hinging forward, hips are back. Reaching for your ankles, your shins, your calves, wherever you can reach. And we're going to look down at the floor and pull up on the ankles. We do that 7 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Beautiful. Okay, sitting back up. Hinging at the hips. Once again, our hands come to our waist. And we're going to arch back and look back, and then round. Arching back, rounding. From the side, it would look like this. You're sitting tall, looking back, and rounding. Couple more times. Perfect. Now we're bending forward, placing our hands down on the floor, inhaling and exhaling, coming back up, hands come to waist, round back, hinge forward, hands down. Rising back up, rounding, hinging down. For those of you familiar with yoga, this may remind you of upward dog and downward dog. So upward dog, downward dog. And once again, upward dog, downward dog. Back up to full seated, sitting mountain, just crossing your arms in front of your chest. Hands come down to your side. This is called clenching fists. So we're going to bring our arms to 90 degrees. So we have a straight line from our shoulder to our elbow, out to our wrist. Our palms are closed, fingers in, sitting tall. Again, as we tend to do, we end up with our knees in. We want to make sure that you have that space between your legs. Keep going back to that. Feet are forward. Hands come up, and we're punching forward with that right arm and back, left and back. Punching out and back in. Great. Out and back in. 3 times. Beautiful. Now we're going to go to the side with that movement. So we're going to take the right arm, extend diagonally to the left side. Our palm is now down. We are still with our fist clenched. Back in. Other side. Look to your hand as you do the movement. And again, really stretch out as far as you can. Take it nice and slow. Look to that hand. Feel the stretch in your side. One more time. Fist out. Other side. And back in. Keeping our hands and our arms at 90 degrees. We're going to reach up, overhead, and back down, Other side, our palm is facing forward. And again, up. And other side. As you can see, we're going all directions. Forward, sideways, diagonal. Let's do one more of those. Right, and then left. Perfect. Okay, now towards the floor. So we're going to bend at our hips, not hunching our back, punching down to the floor, coming back up, and other side. Your back is flat. So as you have your legs at 90 degrees, hinging forward. We're not rounding like this. So if you're hinging forward and having any difficulty, just do it a little bit and you can punch down at your side. It doesn't have to be way here. Again, anything can be modified. So you're punching down on the right, staying in that position, and to the left. Your palm is facing back as you punch down. To the right, really stretch out, reach for that floor. Left, right, and left. Back up. Release your hands down to your side, palms facing in, always coming back to arms crossed at heart level. We have now what's called bow and arrow. We're going to raise our right hand in the air, and we're going to take, let me do it for here first. You want to curl your fingers down and get what we call L shape, like this. See if you can see that. So my index finger is up and this thumb, as best it can, is coming out. Taking that out to the side, that's my target. This is bow and arrow. So this other arm now comes up, comes in, and I pull back like it's a bow and arrow. We'll stay on this side 3 times. You're aiming for that L shape that you just made with your fingers. 3, let's get one more, and 4. Okay. We're going to sweep our arms to the other side. This arm is now long. My fingers are coming down and I have my L shape. So I'm looking up, bring the other arm up, look to your hand, pull back for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sweeping your arms down to the side, coming back up, heart level, back out to the side, and now reaching arms out to each side. One arm to each side. We're going to be looking back over the right shoulder. This could be a very small movement. You can also do this with your arms down here, looking back, depending on how well you can hold your arms up. This would be about the height you want to go, the highest point. Looking back, sweeping through the center, and looking to the other side. So my arms are aligned with my shoulders, looking back, sweeping through center, other side. One more time, looking back, sweeping through center, other side. Arms come down to the side and back to crossed arms. Now let's take our hands to our waist, or you can have them pointed down like this on your lower back. I'm taking mine to the waist. We're looking up. Once again, similar to what we did before, hinging forward. Slowly sitting back up. Bending to the right. To the left. Back to center. Hinging forward. Coming up and starting once again. Arching back. Hinging forward. Remember your core. Keep it nice and tight. Hinging forward. Slowly rising up. Bending to the right. To the left. Back to center. Hinging forward. One more time through. Press into your feet. Engage your feet as you rise up, keeping your core nice and steady. Arching. So we're extending our back. We're hinging forward. Bending at the hips. Rising back up. Swaying to one side. Other side. Back to center. Hinging forward. Pressing into your feet, slowly rising up. Releasing your hands down to your side, palms facing in, arms back to heart level. So now we have our warrior series. So we're going to need the foot placement that I showed you at the beginning. I'll run through that again. When you're in, this is peaceful warrior. Your leg is straight, your toes are curled under, this leg is 90 degrees, and your arms will be raised overhead, looking to your fingertips. So you want to get that the foot placement. If you cannot do that, bend your knee, turn to the side, raise your arms. For the second movement, our foot will be turned forward. You can see my foot here, wiggling my toes. This 90 degrees. Proud warrior, looking to your fingertips. We'll slowly release. Turning our foot. Peaceful warrior. Again, the foot comes back, this back foot now, the toes are turned out. And this is angle warrior. So we're looking up to our fingertips. This hand is facing out. We'll be doing each of these in a series on the right side and then the left side. So we start as if we were standing. It's the same idea. We're going to turn to the right. Leg is at 90 degrees. Other leg comes back. Peaceful warrior. Arms come overhead. And you're looking to your hands. And we're going to hold this for a count of 3. For 1, 2, and 3. We now have proud warrior. So we turn to the side. Arms are long, front and back. Toes are pointed towards the front of the room. On that back foot and hold for 1, 2, 3. Coming down. Looking to the hand that is up. Side angle pose. Holding for 1, 2, 3. Slowly raising back up. Arms extended overhead. Proud warrior. Perfect. Okay, let's switch to the other side. We got all stretched there. Let's try it on this side now. So we have that. You might find one side is more flexible than the other, and that's perfectly normal. So this leg is extended back, toes are curled under, front leg is 90 degrees. Peaceful warrior. Arms overhead. holding for 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm swiveling this back foot so my toes are pointed forward, arms extended, looking to this forward hand here, keeping your arms as level as possible. Proud warrior, 1, 2, and 3. Slowly revolving down. Looking to your hand, side angle pose. 1, 2, 3. Slowly coming back up. Leg extends, toes curled under. Back to peaceful warrior. Slowly lower your arms. Sitting forward. Space your legs. Hands are down at your side, palm facing in. Arms crossed at heart level. Slowly lowering your hands down to the side. We now have what we call spinal movements. This feels really great because it's a relaxing and we're stretching at the same time. So we're going to just start with our hands lightly placed on your thighs. Feet are pointed forward. Legs are at 90 degrees, hip distance apart. So we're just sitting and first rounding our back and stretching forward, looking up. We did something very similar in the beginning, rounding our back, stretching forward, rounding, and stretching, rounding, stretching. When you stretch now, really press into your feet. And back, and again, rounding forward, stretching forward and rounding your back. Okay, back to sitting mountain, arms at your side, crossed at heart level, back to your side. This time we place our hands on our thighs just above the knees. We're going to just slowly bend to the right. Sway back to the left. Turning now, taking this hand, placing it on the back of your chair. Your hand is on your right, left hand is on your right thigh. Turning and looking back. Getting a nice twist. The other side. Turning, looking back. Coming back to center, hands on your thighs, rocking to one side, back through center, other side, back to sitting mountain, and we'll repeat that sequence. So we're sitting tall, rounding forward, extending back, rounding forward, extending back, rounding forward, extending back. Back to sitting mountain. We're going to slowly rock to the right. Think about your leg placement, keeping your core nice and tight, and to the left. to the right, to the left, and one more time to the right, and to the left. Back to sitting mountain. This would be the same as if you were standing up in a yoga class that is not a chair class, and you'd be just standing with your arms down at your side. So now we're going to reach back with this right hand. Left hand comes up around, place on the opposite thigh, turn and look back. Release. Extend the arm to the opposite side. Turn and look back. Once again, left arm, right side. The right hand is on the chair, you're looking back. Kind of like when we look back to see if a car is coming. And one more time. Looking back. Getting a great stretch. A twist. Coming back forward. Arms at your side. Crossed at heart level. Back down to the side. We'll just close since we don't have, we can do Savasana, which would be just leaning back in the chair, extending your legs long, leaning back, resting your head back. Savasana in a chair. What we'll do though is just some nice light stretching. So we're going to interlace our fingers, take our arms overhead, turn our palms out or up towards the ceiling and stretch. Now reach forward and back. One more time. Forward, pressing into your hands, raising up, stretching up to the ceiling. It's also a great exercise to do if you're sitting at a desk. You need to stretch out. Feels really great. Okay, working on our hands a little bit. Interlace your fingers. Press your arms forward. Press forward with your hands. You can hinge at the hips. Just go a little way, but make sure you want to get hinged back and a lot of extension from that shoulder to your wrist. Press way up. And slowly sit up and press again. This time, turn your palms out, stretching those fingers. It's great for arthritis. You might feel discomfort right now, but it is stretching, helping you to move those fingers. Coming back in, turning and pressing out. Back in. Pressing out. Back in. Crossing, heart level. Arms down at your side. Let's press down with that right hand. You could lean a little bit. Make the movement come from your waist up to your shoulders. So it's trying not to do that. Just press down. So you can see pressing. You'll feel that stretch all up your arm. Other side, pressing down. And again, pressing. Pressing. One more time, right side. And left side. Beautiful. Okay, if you're able, you want to interlace your fingers, bring them around your shin, just pull your knee in. It could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be all the way in. Whatever feels good. It's a great stretch for your hips, down into your legs, your lower back, but really stretch it. So it can just be nice and light like this. Pull your leg up. Or you could pull your leg up here, pressing into that other foot. Release, other side, pulling in. Again, it could be down here. Stretching. Let's do it one more time each side. Stretch. Doing great. Other side. Wonderful. Okay, let's just sweep our arms out. Palms together overhead. Really stretch towards the ceiling. Come back down. Palms up. Arms overhead, palms together. Sweep out to the side. One more time. Turning your palms out, pressing into your feet. Looking up to the sky. Wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a big hug, a pat on the back. Fantastic, everyone. So great to be here with you. And I hope you saw some of the benefits and felt some of the benefits of yoga. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carole. Oh my gosh, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm feeling limber and my body feels great. So when is the best time to do yoga? Does it matter the time of day?
No, actually, that's a really great question. Any time of day is good. There are many people who believe, an old Indian tradition, people in India would do it, first thing in the morning to get their day started. It could be oftentimes a lighter practice, so to speak, not quite as energetic, but any time of the day, it's great before you fall asleep too. And then you'd want to do something very gentle and just stretch. And in fact, some of these things you could do lying in your bed. You could be on your back, pull your leg in, stretch out, and it just feels wonderful and it just relaxes your entire body. So any time of the day is perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. And I don't need any more excuses to lay in the bed any longer when it's time to.
Now, I think we probably don't need that, but it sure does feel good.
Thank you. Now, Lindsay, Carole, will Get Fit Where You Sit, is that offered as part of the Coming of Age program?
It's not currently part of our programming, but if this was something you really enjoyed and want to see in the future come back and be more regularly offered, let us know. We want to hear from you. And if this is something that you would like for us to offer regularly, again, if it's not already in the chat, I'll put my contact information in the chat and we want to hear from you.
Okay, this is Arlene Palangan. I have a problem. For some reason, my face is showing up sideways. Are you seeing me sideways?
Yes.
What do I do? I've never had that happen before. Any ideas?
Not really sure, Arlene. That would be something that you have to figure out in your own settings.
Well,
I'm
it's not doing it.
Back on mute just so we could finish our program.
Yeah, thank you. What other programs do you guys offer at the Coming of Age program that focus on aging adults?
So all of the coming of age programs that we offer are for generally geared towards the 60 plus crowd. The JCC also has a program called the Selma Sweetbaum Nutrition Program. It's actually on Wednesdays. I believe it started this morning around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And it is a combination of, there's some sort of chair exercise actually involved, as well as sometimes music, sometimes a speaker, and lunch, and it's free. And then at the JCC, Carole could probably give a little bit more detail, but there's plenty of fitness programs. You do need to be a member of the JCC, I believe, to come use the fitness center and take advantage of those programs. Some may or may not be geared toward the senior population. And coming of age, we run programming throughout the month. We're very excited. Starting in March, almost all of our programs are going to be in person. Yay! So we look forward to seeing people come out and take part. We do films all the time. We have a really interesting program next Wednesday evening with the Israeli Bobsled and Skeleton Federation. Bet you didn't know they had a team. Right. Because you don't really think of Israel in winter sports, but we're going to learn a little bit about that as well. So we try to keep things different. We try to mix it up with all sorts of different programs, whether it's a lecture, a concert, a film. We're going on a bunch of trips coming up. So be on the lookout for that. I think, Angelique, you guys were going to send out our March, April brochure with the program materials. We have a May, June brochure coming out soon. If you want to receive that, again, reach out, let me know. We can add you to our mailing list for sure. So,
and so I just want to reiterate, so you do have to be a member of JCC to access these programs.
Not the coming of age programs, no.
Okay.
Coming of age is open to the community in general. You do not need to be a JCC member to participate in our programs.
Thank you. So how can one register for future programs?
The easiest way to register is to just give us a call. If you're a member of the JCC in general, or if you're in our registration system, even if you're not a member, you can log on to the website vendorjccgw.org, and you can either create an account, or if you have an account, you can register for all of our programs there. It's sometimes a tricky, finicky system, and I can easily access the back end on my side and register you in 5 minutes. So always happy to do that if there's a program that piques your interest.
Thank you. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience about any programs?
We're looking forward to, like I said, being back in person this late winter and early spring, and I hope that people will join us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lindsay, Carole. It was an amazing class.
Yeah, I felt all sorts of things cracking and like moving around. It was great.
That's part of it.
Well, I thought we'd have some questions, but I guess everybody's too zen. So you've solved everything, right?
Yes, world problem solved. Just take a yoga class.
It's a perfect way to spend, the later part of the morning. And now I'm ready to, tackle my day warrior style.
Yes, yes.
I hope everybody feels the same. I just want to say thank you again to our guests. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. I also just want to remind you that we do have some upcoming programs as well. February 24th, we will be discussing understanding and addressing substance abuse later in life, very important topic. So please join us for that. And then the next CESLC Insider will be March 9th. And we will be discussing caring for a loved one with dementia. So again, thank you everybody who tuned in. I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having us. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.